let's get into the giant mailbag.
What crazy thing did Citi do this week?
It's time for Mattress Running the Numbers. Ready for the main event?
The main event.
Frequent Miler on the air starts now. Today's main event, the best of crazy. Nick is on a cruise this week and his internet is awful, so we weren't able to record a new show, unfortunately. Instead, we're bringing you the best of what crazy thing did fill in the blank do this week. Enjoy.
Citi has been on a rampage lately and doing things that don't make any sense at all. And so each week they've come out with something kind of crazy, right?
Right. So that's why we've decided to introduce a new segment, a new regular segment to this show called What Crazy Thing Has Citi Done This Week?
I mean, they are just on a roll. Like the last few weeks, if you aren't following along, when everybody else has been kind of like pulling back on offers and pulling back on their advertising and pulling back on approvals and everything else, Citi is like, hey, here's an increased offer on this card, and here's better earning on that card. I mean, it's just it's been the total opposite of what everyone else is doing.
So I could tell you were about to, but I interrupted you. Mm-hmm. Why don't you do your DJ voice to introduce this segment?
Ladies and gentlemen, now we introduce the next segment. What crazy thing has Citi done this week? That brings us next then to what crazy thing did Citi do this week?
Yes. So Citi, we are going to talk about Citi. So it's been we don't always talk about Citi, even though the topic is Citi.
I mean, Citi is a trendsetter, and that's the thing. They're a trendsetter and crazy things.
They love crazy things.
Follows along every now and then. They got to mix it up and toss in something crazy just to keep that trend going. So thank you.
This one's fun because it follows on what started this whole segment, which is, over the summer, they introduced a promotion with like 5X for online purchases with your Citi Prestige card, but they failed to tell anyone except bloggers about it, including like their staff, right? Didn't know anything about it. And so that was the crazy thing that kind of, I believe, if my memory serves, that's what kind of kicked off this segment originally. But now they've brought back essentially the same promotion, a very similar one, 5X for online purchases. And now what's happening is actually they did send out emails to customers. I don't know if it was to all customers, but to a lot of customers. What it appears they forgot to do was inform their IT staff. Because
I mean, they can't tell everybody.
Right.
What fun would that be?
Because readers are reporting that they're not actually getting 5X. So last time everybody was getting 5X, they just didn't have any proof that they would if they spent the money. But now they're spending the money. It does not appear they're getting 5X. So hopefully that'll get resolved. I'm sure it will. So
that brings us to the next segment. What crazy thing did Citi do this week? And it has been a crazy week indeed.
It has. This is going to be fun. We've got a triple header today.
A triple header, Micah. You don't get that every week. Right?
No, I don't think we've ever done a triple header before.
No, everybody's getting in on it this week. Everybody wants in on what crazy thing to say. It's the hot new thing. Everybody's like, maybe we can get featured on the Frequent Miler. What crazy thing did Citi do this week segment?
I'm sure, the whole industry is abuzz trying to get in on our show.
I mean, truthfully, just about everybody has at this point, right? I mean, Chase has been in there, Amex has been in, Hilton's been in, Marriott's. Everybody's been in there, so they do seem to be chomping at the bit. So
all right, time for our next segment. What crazy thing did Citi do this week?
So the crazy thing that Citi did this week was lent their expertise to Chase, because Chase actually did our crazy thing this week. Chase came out with a really interesting spending offer on the old Hyatt credit card, not the new World of Hyatt credit card, the old Hyatt credit card. Well, that brings us then next up to what crazy thing did Citi do this week?
All right. But before we get into the contents of that, I do want to say we decided to rename this segment. So many, many weeks, we don't actually talk about what crazy things Citi has done, but what crazy things someone has done, like some business, some loyalty program, some credit card company.
Last week it was IHG. The week before that, it might have been Amex. It's been all sorts of different things, right?
Right. So we're not changing it like entirely. What we're doing is trimming it. So we're just calling it "What Crazy Thing." ... we won't say the ... in the future, but
Just
when
that
you
one
hear
time.
us say what crazy thing, just imagine ...
Picture ... That's right.
All right. So with that background, what crazy thing do we have on store this week?
Welcome back, Citi. Welcome back.
What crazy thing did American Airlines do this week? Tell us all about that.
Well, American Airlines decided to be really generous, and they spent days kind of putting out the word that they're going to give a holiday gift to all of the members. Every member is going to get a holiday gift. All you got to do is show up, log in, click around, whatever in your account, and you're going to get a gift from American Airlines. So they advertised this and got everybody excited about, what's the free gift coming from American Airlines? I mean, I could sense that some people were wondering, am I going to get free airline elite status? Am I going to get a global upgrade? Am I going to get something worth more than $1? And they were all sadly mistaken because, of course, American gave most people 100 miles, which
100 miles. So how far can you go? If you want to redeem an award ticket, how far can you go with that?
I mean, you can probably taxi to the runway. That brings us then to something that's a little more fun crazy, and that's choice privileges. So choice privileges decided to get crazy this week too. They wanted to just sneak in an entry right at the at the cutoff time, so to speak, with a crazy thing this week. So what happened with choice?
Right. So choice lets you redeem points at very poor value for gift cards, and so they sent out an email saying, great news, you now get more value, so you can redeem for fewer points for the same value gift cards. And so Stephen clicked through to check it out and found out that it's not actually working, so you'd still pay the old amount, but not only that, the new amount, it's still a bad deal.
Right.
So, to advertise a bad deal and then not actually have it working is
pretty crazy.
That's pretty crazy.
Hey guys, you can get a terrible deal here. Click through. And then you click through and you're like, wow, that's not even as good as the deal that they advertised.
Right. I mean, to their credit, maybe the tech people who had to implement it were like, no one's going to click through this. This is a terrible deal.
Right.
Why should we bother?
Very well be. That could very well be the answer.
They said to the marketing people, yeah, we got this.
We know how many people are clicking through on this. Don't worry. So what crazy thing is the next segment up today? So what crazy thing did Amex do? Because Amex got a little crazy this week, right? In more ways than one, really.
Right. So Amex, the couple things going on there, it seems like. One is that people with certain Hilton cards who downgraded last year from the Hilton Aspire, which gives you a free night each year, have been randomly getting free nights in their account. And it's not even at time that would normally get them if they had kept the Aspire card. So some crazy...
It's just like a happy 2021. Thanks for downgrading your card. Here's a free night certificate. Well, what?
Yes.
What crazy thing did First Tech Credit Union do this week?
Right.
A regular on the show first.
First time for First Tech, I think.
I think
First Tech has a nice, easy referral bonus. We posted about it and used my referral link, and whenever someone meets the requirements and earns their $100, I also get an email saying congratulations. So I've gotten a few of those, and let me read you what the congratulations email says. It says, you and your friend have earned a $100 reward, Natalie, and helped a nonprofit in your area.
Well, congratulations, Natalie.
Thank you.
At this point on this show, you've been called an elderly guy, an evil blogger, and now Natalie.
And what crazy thing
did Nick's wife do this week?
Ooh,
yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Putting her on blast here.
It's not Citibank this week, huh?
Yeah. I wish.
Because Citibank was in the news this week, but it wasn't enough.
It was so close, Citibank. Citibank, you were within an hour and a half of making it this week. And then, and I only say what crazy thing did Nick's wife do this week because I know she won't listen to this. So, that's the only reason I can get away with saying that.
So you might want to whisper it, because if someone's like playing this on the radio in the next car over or something, they're going to hear it. She's going to hear it.
Not me. Some other guy named Nick's wife probably did something. So, all right.
What happened?
What happened?
Tell us the story.
So, we haven't been doing a lot of manufactured spending because of the whole pandemic, and there's not a place to do it easily within our town. But my sister-in-law has been doing some shopping with Instacart, rather. So she's been going to grocery stores a bunch. So she's taken Visa gift cards for us and converted them into money orders now and then. And so today, as we record this, she dropped off a money order at our place so that we could, deposit it, blah, 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 yada, yada. So my wife took the money order and put it in her back pocket. And, my wife is often doing a lot of the childcare during the day because, I'm working on frequent miler. And so she's got her hands full right now with a 5-month-old and a 3-year-old. And so things are a little crazy around the house, a lot of noise, a lot of commotion. And of course, all of a sudden the 5-month-old spits up all over her. I mean, like, epic proportion. She calls me down from upstairs and yells my name. Come down. I'm like, oh my goodness, like what a mess. And she said, oh, he just spit up over there on the couch, and then now all over me. I guess he's full, blah, blah, blah. We're getting a little bit of a laugh out of it, right? Which was a little bit of a laugh. But then, of course, obviously, all those clothes had to go in the wash, including the pair of pants.
Oh no.
Like, I was surprised at how quickly a money order can dissolve in the washing machine.
You literally laundered the money order.
Laundered the money order. Right. Exactly what every banker is worried we're doing. What crazy thing did Capital One do this week?
What did Capital One do last week to me, to Greg? They shut me down.
Ouch. What?
Yeah. So, a few months ago, I was wildly excited that they had finally accepted an application. I applied for that venture 100K offer, and I couldn't believe it. They approved me. So I wrote a post about it. I was like, look, they're being easier on approvals. I've tried year after year and never gotten approved for anything from Capital One. But boom, I was approved. Went ahead and started just using it for my day-to-day spend. I literally did nothing strange with this card. I set up auto payments to pay my bill in full each month, and just spent everywhere I needed to spend. And I did.
And it turned out that you did not believe it for good reason.
That's right. So I did earn the 50K part of the bonus, not yet the 100K, because that required $20,000 spend. But I hit the 50K part of it. And so altogether, I had about just short of 60,000 points, or they call them miles, saved up. And boom, they just, out of the blue, shut me down.
What crazy thing did American Express do this week, Greg?
Yeah. So Amex, that their super high-end platinum cards recently became higher end they raised the annual fee from $550 to $695. And to make up for it, they added a whole bunch of coupons. they basically said,
the Amex coupon book.
You'll get rebates for this, that, and the other thing. And what they did crazy this week is they added 2 more coupons. And the one that I want to talk about is you now get a rebate for signing up for a monthly subscription to Walmart Plus.
What?
Walmart Plus. Does that say ultra premium to you or what?
So then what crazy thing did
Cardless do this week?
Cardless.
So
Cardless. Wait,
Cardless.
What's Cardless?
They're the company that's crazy every week just because of their name. Because what does Cardless do? They make credit cards, like physical credit cards, but they're called Cardless.
That makes sense. Oh, right. Marketing genius on that one. Yeah.
But that's not what we're joking about right now. Last week, I guess, I have a Manchester United card from Cardless, and I got an email from them about paying my bill. And I'm going to quote.
That seems reasonable. That doesn't
seems
sound
reasonable.
crazy.
That's not crazy yet. I'm going to quote exactly. I wrote it down exactly, part of this email. They said, "Don't forget, your online payment for your Manchester United by Cardless card is due on December 31st, 1969.
That's how old you are, Greg.
Failure to make the minimum payment by the due date could result in negative reporting to the credit bureau. So I am in trouble.
That's an interesting. I like it. I like it, Cardless. You're going to toss them a little challenge here. You're not going to make it easy. Right? I mean, forget about those like 3 easy payments of $19.99. We're going to make it one really hard payment.
Right. Can you imagine if I had any like balance on there for it's almost 52 years that I'm late on this payment.
All right. So then what crazy thing did American Express do this week?
Yeah. American Express. They called me up on Saturday and told me I was deceased.
So you are preparing for the end.
I'm too late.
Already
deceased. It's too late to prepare.
Too late.
Yeah. So I had tried to add additional users to a business platinum card of mine because they had an offer on them. Each additional user I added would add 20,000 points to my account if they spent $4,000 on the new card. This is great. I'll add a few new users.
Why not?
So, I did that. I did it online. And then on Saturday, they called to say, well, we couldn't add your new users because you're dead.
What did Greg, the frequent miler, do this week?
Yeah. So Greg decided, how Capital One approved me last year for a venture card.
I'm familiar
and I
with
was
that
so
story.
excited. I'm sure we talked about it on the show. And then a few months later, they canceled my venture card and gave me only a half cent per point of the miles I had collected so far.
Insane.
Yeah, it was really rough.
I mean, obviously you were manufactured spending, and that's why they shut you down, right?
You would think so, but no. I was very careful to only use that card. I was using it as my everywhere else card, just normal spend. And I literally did not buy a single gift card with it. I didn't do any kind of weird stuff that anyone would look at and say, oh, that's suspicious activity. Nothing like that. They shut me down, didn't give me any real explanation for it. I tried a bunch of different approaches to kind of reverse the decision, or at least get them to explain what happened. No luck at all. So you would think I'd be done with Capital One forever, right?
I mean, it would make sense. That's one of those times when, it might make sense to be like, I'm going to take a stand here. No, Capital One, no more of you.
Right.
Or at least,
right.
Or at least to be afraid of even trying it. I mean, come on, they redeemed your points at half a cent each. So basically you earned 1% back on all of the spend you put on the card one time around. Now, I mean, what kind of a glutton for punishment would try to drink from that trough again?
Apparently this glutton would. So this time, the Capital One, the Venture X 100K offer with also the $200 kicker for vacation rentals, it's coming to the end this coming Monday, and I had to make a decision. Well, I didn't have to, but I wanted to make a decision about Capital One before that good offer went away. And I'd been thinking about this for a while. Like, yes, I'm not personally going to try for a Capital One card again, but could my wife get one? And would they hate her as much as they hate me, and why?
They shouldn't. They shouldn't hate Mrs. Myler as much as they hate. She's a lovely woman.
She's much nicer in all ways than me. So come on, Capital One, you've got to like her. So she applied for the Venture X card, was instantly approved. So we will then, go forward, hopefully earn the 100,000 point bonus, and hopefully be able to use it towards good value instead of getting canceled again.
Careful. Don't say we will earn it, right? You don't want to get your history, your tarnished history on her hands.
Right.
He will earn the bonus and enjoy the points. Let's not make her guilty by association with the riffraff. All right.
Right. Good point. So the scariest thing for me is that one of the great benefits of the Venture X is that you can add authorized users for free, and they get good perks like Capital One lounge access, their own priority pass, and so on. At some point, I'm going to want her to add me as an authorized user. And that's when I feel like that's when bad things might happen. So we'll
Yeah,
see.
so-
I'm going to put off that day as long as is reasonable.
Right. And I read that in the post. And when I saw that, I thought, well, I mean, so what's the plan here? Because Capital One requires a social security number to add an authorized user. So she's going to have to enter your social security number. They're clearly going to be able to match that up with, oh, this is somebody we don't want. Now, I don't have any data points as to whether or not that means they'll shut down her account, but that's certainly a possibility, right? So you're going to like redeem all the points before you do that, or just take your chances?
Maybe what I'll do is have her transfer all her points to you before we do that.
Smart.
And then hope they don't trace all the way down the line.
I like that idea. I want to try it, right? I don't know if I really want to be associated there. Maybe it's not a good idea.
I don't know if you do either.
Well, that brings us to what crazy thing did
Staples do this week?
What? Staples got crazy.
So, as you know, we all go to Staples to buy gift cards because we bring in our Chase Ink card that gets 5X at office supply stores. A reader wrote in saying, just walked out of a Staples store. The general manager was pulling all of the Visa and MasterCard $100 and $200 gift cards. He said he had an email in his hand that said there was a virus attached to them and to pull them right away.
Oh my goodness, a virus attached to the Visa gift cards.
Yeah. So this is like breaking news because, I mean, we all know that viruses will mutate and find different ways to transmit.
New hosts.
And this has got to be the first documented case of virus mutating to the point where it's actually carried on a Visa or MasterCard gift card. I mean, there have probably been cases of like on Waffle House gift cards, but I don't think
that would explain a lot.